Good morning and welcome. No, darn it. Never mind. Anyway, welcome to Zen Fits here, Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. And the title of this talk is The Last Mantra. The Last Mantra. I think y'all know what a mantra is without any too much depth, but a mantra is a prayer, or in Christian, the rosary term, in Catholic terms, the would be a prayer that you repeat on a rosary. In yoga, it would be a mantra you repeat on a mala. Same idea. And so the mantra is your personal prayer or affirmation, and it can be in both in the Catholic and the yoga tradition. It's the same idea in a way. Protestants don't have it; they threw it all out. It's all mumbo jumbo, voodoo. But it's odd. So I want to talk about this because I really have a tremendous experience with the mantra and the japa, because it really started my spiritual path back in 1970. And while I'm talking here, I'm holding mala beads. There are 108 on a mala. The top one is called this one here. See, that's called the guru bead. So when you do japa, repeating mantra, you go, then you go all the way around, 108 beads to the other side, and you go back to the other. So you go boom, boom, boom. It's a cycle. But you don't cross over the top beads. Go round and around. They're called a round. Okay, so let's get, back in 1970, I was lost. I'd been rejected by the Presbyterian seminary. I was going to be a minister, and they rejected me. Sorry, Charlie, you can't get to the tuna factory. And I was really broken up at the time, but I was so happy after, because the irony is that if Charlie ever got to the tuna factory, he'd be dead. He'd be in a can. So they didn't put me in a can. I'm so happy I didn't go into that can. But I did go into another can, with the yoga can. So I found a teacher. Alice Christensen found me, or I found her. And I was going to be a yoga minister. And of course, Alice Christensen was coming from, see this Swami Rama here. He was her guru, a real awakened master yogi from India, Kashmir, and he would come to the United States and on invitation and hold meditations with his little groups of students here and there. And the Light of Yoga Society Alice was one of his students or disciples, and she became a guru in her own light and started the Light of Yoga Society. So when I joined the Light, when I asked her to be her student, she said, okay. She was on the way out the door to give a speech. And I had driven up from Norfolk, where I was living, Virginia, to Pennsylvania, where she was staying at somebody's house. So she was in a hurry. So she said, okay. And she said, she wrote down a mantra. Om Rama, Om, I can't even remember it. Om Ramana Ramana, Om Ram Ramana. Anyway, it was a Rama mantra. So she gave that to me. She said, okay, now repeat that. Do 60 rounds of that. So I had to get a mala. And she said, do 60 rounds of that every day. And now 60 rounds. Om Ram Ramana Maha. It took about an hour. And so she said, don't eat meat, don't smoke, and don't drink, and do these asanas, and come see me in a year. And then you can do what you want. Was that all? I was so happy. I was so it was unbelievable that I had been accepted as a student of a yoga master. I was going to be a yogi. I was going to become, and the Yoga Society, that time, they were basically, it was a boot camp for yoga teachers, spiritual yoga teachers, not like the yoga teachers we have today, the yoga mall, goat yoga, and hot and cold yoga, and all that in the mall yoga. This was right out of India, yoga, before it became Americanized. Had a real Indian guru there, you know. So I went back to Virginia, and I did it every day. I would sit out in the yard, and I would do my japa. Om Ramana. It's funny I can't remember that damn thing, but anyway. So I was in that for about 3 years until. When you get into real yoga, the spiritual path is going to create psychic dramas. It's going to stir your mind up. If it doesn't stir your mind up, you're not really in the water yet. It has to shake you up. It has to, when you get on the spiritual path, the real one, it's going to be like this, you know. What you thought, what was clear. Now you're in a snow globe. Everything is shaken up. It shakes you up. It shakes you up, you see. And you don't know whether it's up or down or whatever. And so you cling to your yoga teacher, your guru, and your mantra. But in my case, I got so stirred up. I got so snapped, you see. It's almost like I had a schizophrenic break. Alice, she said, oh, well, you know, I can't help you. Go see a therapist. And with that, I left. And so that was the end of that mantra, and that was the end of that connection, you see, with that teacher. It broke. So then I was looking for another connection, So then I found Swami Muktananda in the second half of the 70s, and Swami Muktananda was a big guru. He was this Rama here was a small guru, a real one, a real master, but he kept it small. Swami Muktananda was a Barnum and Bailey circus guru. I mean, Siddha Yoga back in the 70s took over hotels, had ashrams with thousands of people. It's big. And he had one mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. And you don't have to do any japa. You just repeat the mantra, and the guru's grace flows through the mantra, through Om Namah Shivaya. So I really began to repeat then Om Namah Shivaya, and then Om Namah Shivaya. It basically means, of course, all mantras start with Om, the original word, and somebody called right now, got me distracted here. So anyway, I'm doing my Om Namah Shivaya, and I'm still doing that mantra, even though Swami Muktananda is long gone. And but the mantra has continued like a underground stream that just runs in my mind. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah, and I'll find myself singing it inside, repeating it. You know, so there's basically whenever the mind is not occupied on something that I'm doing, like feeding the cat or doing so, and it's not focused on something, some form, that mantra is running. It comes up to the surface like an underground stream, you see. So when the surface mind gets relaxed a little bit, the mantra comes up, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and I find my mind repeating that. And then the mind will get occupied in form again and experience. Got to do this, got to wash the dishes or whatever. But the mantra is going on underneath all the time. And so getting deeper into the mantra, which was my intention with this talk, was that, and the title of this talk is The Last Mantra. The Last Mantra. So I've kind of like stumbled upon and come upon the last mantra in my practice, which was in the great mantra of Zen, Mahayana Buddhism, the Prajnaparamita Heart Sutra. This is a sutra that is a long chant, but it's really a mantra. Now that long Heart Sutra, which you can find on YouTube, and I've been posting it on my Facebook, is a Prajnaparamita Heart Sutra, is reduced to a short mantra, and that short mantra is Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Svaha. 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 Now that mantra, for me, I'm talking about my own experience, is the last mantra because it's the end of a mantra. It's the end of words. It's the end of the thinking mind. It's the end of the waves of the mind. What does Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Svaha mean? Well, the meaning really is in the doing of it, not so much in the sound of it. That's where we get screwed up in the West. We think, well, what does it mean? It has to mean something. What does it mean? What does it mean? Well, the meaning is not in the words. The meaning is in the doing of it. The meaning is in the sound. The meaning is in the intention. Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhi Svaha. Now, Gati means gone. Gati, gone. Gati, gone. Paragati. Gati, Gati, Paragati. Paragati means gone beyond. Gone, gone, gone beyond. Gone with the wind. If you want a movie mantra, gone with the wind. Gone, gone, Paragati. And then it comes to Gati, Gati, death, death, Paragati, beyond death. Word, Gati, gone. Gati, gone, word. Paragati, gone beyond the word. Gone beyond. You see, we're going beyond the word, going beyond the meaning. We're going beyond the surface. We're going beyond the surface, thinking mind. We're going beyond the thinking mind. Gati, Gati, Paragati. And then comes the clash. Then comes the thunder clash. Gati, Gati, Paragati, Parasamgati. Gati, Gati, Paragati, Parasamgati. Parasamgati. Gone beyond. Emptiness. You're no longer in the words now. You're no longer outside of using words. What does it mean? When you say something, what does it mean? You're outside of it. I want to know what that means, but I'm here. The thing I want to know, that the word is over there. But the Parasamgati is the thunder clash where you are the mantra. There's no more you outside of it. You're gone. Your separate sense of self is gone. Your idea that everything must have a meaning, a purpose, a use, all gone. Everything is gone. Parasamgati. Emptiness means you're no longer outside of yourself trying to figure out who you are. When you're empty, that's ironic. It means that you're no longer outside of yourself trying to find out what you mean, what the world means. You're no longer outside of the world. You're no longer outside of your experience. The world is no longer over there. You are the world. Parasamgati. Bam! You see. And then Parasamgati, then Bodhi Svaha. Bodhi Svaha. Oh, what an awakening. Oh, what an awakening. You see how that works? This is a mantra, and this is why I use it. And it's the end of all mantras because it's the end of doing mantra or japa or prayers to get something. It's the end of trying to figure out what anything means. It's the end of trying to know who I am. Parasamgati. Oh, what an awakening. Thanks for dropping in.